All right. Good evening. My name's Liz, and I'm an alcoholic. Please join me in the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right. I'd like to remind everybody here that the meeting is being live streamed on our website. I did get word that our library is updated through the 11th of this month. So if you spoke before then and were interested in checking yourself out, if you spoke from February 11th or before then, it's all up. So we're ready to go. So welcome to the Tuesday night alumni speaker meeting. Who is it their first time attending the meeting tonight? Besides the kids in the back. The ones here in the front, Caesar and friends, you are welcome. We do this here every Tuesday night starting at 6:30. If you can't make it on a Tuesday night, like I said, we do live stream, or we do have a library that you can click on and get a meeting if you feel like you need to hit a meeting. So that's available to you. So let's go around the room and introduce ourselves, starting on my right.
My name is Nancy and I'm an addict.
Nancy.
Glenn, I'm an addict.
Glenn.
My name is Hamid, I'm an addict.
Hamid.
Grant, addict.
Grant.
Marcelino, addict.
Marcelino.
My name's Andrew, I'm an addict.
Andrew. Manny. William. Jamar. Robert. Caesar. Rob. Jacqueline. Jude. Kevin. Scott. Lester. Anthony. Joe. Eric. Rick. Jesse. Emmanuel. David. Kyle. Chris. Isaiah.
My name is Matt and I'm an addict.
Matt. Sunshine. Roxy. Jesse. Tom. Sean.
My name is Jack, I'm an addict.
Jack. Jose. Rick. Jose.
Michael, alcoholic addict.
Michael. Billy. Paco. Kevin.
Brian, alcoholic.
Brian. Brett. Jack. Chris. Nathaniel. Joe. Enrique.
Eduardo, addict.
Eduardo.
Marcos, alcoholic addict.
Marcos.
Luis, addict.
Luis.
Darren, addict.
Darren.
Gino, addict.
Gino.
Keyshawn, addict.
Keyshawn. And I'm Liz. I'm still an alcoholic. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. All right. Today we are doing NA. We kindly ask for your cooperation in making this a good experience for all who wish to hear the message. Please respect the speakers and the meeting by not talking during the readings or while people are sharing. During the break, feel free to help yourself to coffee, water, and snacks. And tonight's birthday night, and it looks like we have a lot of cake and some pizza, so help yourselves. Okay, so we've asked Darren to come on up and read what is the NA program.
Oh, it's a new microphone. All right. My name is Darren, and I'm an addict. What is the Narcotics Anonymous program? NA is a nonprofit fellowship of society of men and women for whom drugs have become a major problem. We are recovering addicts who meet regularly to help each other stay clean. This is a program of complete abstinence from all drugs. there is only one requirement for membership: the desire to stop using. We suggest that you keep an open mind and give yourself a break. Our program is a set of principles written so simply that we can follow them in our daily lives. The most important thing about them is that they work. There are no strings attached to NA. We are not affiliated with any other organizations. We have no initiation fees or dues, no pledges to sign, no promises to make to anyone. We are not connected with any political, religious, or law enforcement groups and are under no surveillance at any time. Anyone may join us regardless of age, race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion. We are not interested in what or how much you used or who your connections were, what you have done in the past, how much or how little you have, but only in what you want to do about your problem and how we can help. The newcomer is the most important person at any meeting because we can only keep what we have by giving it away. We have learned from our group experience that those who keep coming to our meetings regularly stay clean.
All right, thank you, Darren. And we have Keyshawn come on up and read why we are here.
Yeah, like that. More like it. My name's Keyshawn. I'm an addict. Why we are here? Before coming to the fellowship of NA, we could not manage our own lives. We could not live and enjoy life as other people do. We had to have something different, and we thought we had found it in drugs. We placed their use ahead of the welfare of our families, our wives, husbands, and our children. We had to have drugs at all costs. We did many people great harm. Most of all, we harmed ourselves. Through our inability to accept personal responsibilities, we were actually creating our own problems. We seemed to be incapable of facing life on its own terms. Most of us realized that in our addiction, we were slowly committing suicide by addiction. It's such a cunning enemy of life that we had lost the power to do anything about it. Many of us ended up in jail or sought help through medicine, religion, and psychiatry, there we go. None of these methods was sufficient for us. Our disease always resurfaced or continued to progress until, in desperation, we sought help from each other in Narcotics Anonymous. After coming to NA, we realized we were sick people. We suffered from a disease from which there is no known cure. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is then possible. Thank you.
All right, and now we have Chris come on up and read how it works.
My name's Chris, I'm an addict. If you want what we have to offer and are willing to make the effort to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. These are the principles that made our recovery possible. 1, we admitted that we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4, we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, we humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8, we made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, we made a direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, we continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for His knowledge of His will and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. This sounds like a big order, and we can't do it all at once. We didn't become addicted in one day, so remember, easy does it. There is one thing more than anything else that will defeat us in our recovery. This is an attitude of indifference or intolerance towards spiritual principles. 3 of these that are indispensable are honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. With these, we are well on our way. We feel that our approach to the disease of addiction is completely realistic. For the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel. We feel that our way is practical, for one addict can best understand and help another addict. We believe that the sooner we face our problems within our society and everyday living, just that much faster do we become acceptable, responsible, and productive members of that society. The only way to keep from returning to active addiction is not to take that first drug. If you are like us, you know that 1 is too many and 1,000 is never enough. We put great emphasis on this, for we know that when we use drugs in any form or substitute one for another, we release our addiction all over again. Thinking of alcohol as different from other drugs has caused a great many addicts to relapse. Before we came to NA, many of us viewed alcohol separately, but we cannot afford to be confused about this. Alcohol is a drug. We are people with the disease of addiction who must abstain from all drugs in order to recover.
Thanks, Chris. All right. While we observe the 7th tradition, we've asked Luis to come on up and read the 12 traditions of NA.
Luis, I'm an addict. The 12 traditions of NA. Our common welfare should be first. Personal recovery depends on NA unity. 2, for our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God, as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. 3, the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. 4, each group should be autonomous, except in matters affecting other groups or NA as a whole. Wow. 5, a group has but one primary purpose, to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. 6, an NA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the NA name to any related facility or outside enterprise. Less problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7, every NA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. Narcotics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9, NA such as ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10, Narcotics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the NA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11, our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at a level of press, radio, and films. Anonymity is a spiritual foundation of all traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities.
Wow, just food for thought. You know those comments that bust out like that asshole one? Is that principles prefer personalities, or is that vice versa? Just something to ponder. Okay, so the format for this meeting is a 10-minute speaker. Then we'll take a 10-minute break. Then we'll have our main speaker. Tonight we'll celebrate birthdays and chips. And then if we have time, we'll have some opportunity for sharing. So I'd like to introduce our 10-minute speaker for tonight. David, come on up.
All right. Is the microphone right? How you guys doing? David, I'm an addict. My story pretty much starts like this. I was born in 1992. Just like everybody else in the room, I had two parents. I also had two brothers though, and both my parents were on drugs, but like they weren't like considering the circumstances. Like I said, I lived with them for 10 years, and considering the circumstances, like they did about as good as they could have. Like considering their addiction, my dad was in prison. My mom had mental health disorders. It was really fucked up, but like they really made the best of it. Cause I can't remember like I seen violence and shit like that, but like as far as drugs go, like I never seen no drugs. You know what I mean? And through the years, people would feed me bullshit about my parents. And somehow I had those memories, but like truth be told, it was just I had memories from what I heard. I really didn't have memories from what I saw. You know what I mean? So then when I was 10, like I said, we moved in with we lived with my parents for 10 years. Moved to my grandparents when my dad went to prison, and after that, it was a fucking culture shock, man. It was a total culture shock. We ran amok with my parents. You know, both like I said, both of them were on drugs. We lived in all kinds of tweakers hotels and trailers and like you name it. It was fucked up, but it was what it was. And so now we moved to a 2-story house with 2 grandparents. None of them do drugs. They both work. And like I said, it's a culture shock. You know, I get in trouble. I start getting grounded. And 5 days later, I'll be in the room like, I'm still fucking grounded. How the fuck is this happening? You know, I wasn't used to that. I was used to, you're in trouble. And then 5 minutes later, you're not in trouble no more. You know, like, you know what I mean? My mom would be stuck in the bathroom and I'd just go do what I wanted. And so like completely different. And in school, I always had really good grades in school, you know? Like really good grades. If you see my high school transcript, the question you would ask is, what the fuck happened? My freshman and sophomore year, like I said, about in the 2 years, I had about 3 Bs and all As. And my junior year, I had straight Fs and like a couple Ds. And what happened was ecstasy happened. And you know, that was the first time dealing with addiction. I smoked weed prior to that, I drank prior to that, but like none of that stuff like had any type of effect on me whatsoever at all. Like I still went to school, I'd do it on the weekend, I'd snap out of it, you know, but ecstasy was the first time where I dealt with addiction, and I dealt with it for about 6 months, and I got off of it by myself, but it was a fucked up 6 months, you know. And I don't know if you guys know about the time frame, about 2009, 2010, that shit was everywhere, you know. I was getting jars for $300, you're getting pills for $3 a pill, and fucking, yeah, it was bad, it was fucked up, but I don't like to talk about how much I did, because I'm pretty sure it put some holes in my brain, but it is what it is, you know. But yeah, the senior year, after that, I bounced back. I wasn't taking APs or honors classes anymore, though. I was just in regular classes, and I came back, got straight A's. But like I said, if you look at my transcript, the question will be, what the fuck happened? It's just a weird transcript. So that being said, I didn't take the SAT score in high school. I didn't take the SAT test in high school because I was under the assumption if you had a 3.0, you didn't need an SAT score to go to a 4-year school. And unfortunately, when it was time to apply for college, my GPA, I can't make this up, it was 2.99. And I actually graduated with a 3.03. So, but the time when all that went down, like when I applied, I wasn't eligible because of my GPA. So I kind of fucked myself over. And like I said, as I was 17, 18, I was already on drugs, you know, and I wasn't listening to my grandparents no more, but I was living there. And of course, the day I turned 18, well, I turned 18 in December, but I graduated high school that June. The day I graduated high school, they kicked me out their house, you know, and that was what that was. But I wasn't ready yet, you know, like I wasn't ready to be out there yet. And I remember being really scared because I knew how fucked that was, you know. And I called up my grandma in Arizona, and I just moved over there because I wasn't ready yet. So I lived with her for about 2 years. And then after that, basically when I moved in with her, I was 18. I started working at Target, my first job. And I wasn't on drugs anymore. I was just drinking, just smoking weed, you know. I got off pills. And I was working at Target. Worked a couple other jobs, a second job, but I moved in with friends after that because I was ready to be on my own at that point. And so this is another, I already dealt with addiction once with ecstasy, right? And I turned 21, and of course, what did I start doing? I started drinking heavy. And, but a couple months after I turned 21, I met a girl I wound up marrying after that. And she was a bartender at Chili's, and I was still working at Target. They're right next to each other. And that was terrible for me, you know? Like, you can't have a bartender as a girlfriend, trust me. But that really didn't matter because I really didn't like drinking with her, to be honest. But so when I got with her, I knew I was an alcoholic. What do they say when you're an alcoholic? You start drinking by yourself, right? And obviously, when you have a girlfriend, you can't have any friends because you know how it is. I didn't like drinking with her, so I started drinking away from her. And the next thing I knew, I was drinking before, after, and during work. And it kind of got progressive really quick, though. And it really didn't stop. I never really quit drinking. I kind of just traded it in. You know, 2017, I met the love of my life, meth, and that was the previous love of my life, though. But yeah, meth changed my life, though. It really changed my life because me and meth, we had a bit of a honeymoon, to be honest. It was really, I'm fucking serious. It was really crazy at first because I had 2 jobs. I was going to the gym twice a day. I was like this weird tweaker. It made no sense. Like I say, it was a honeymoon though. It didn't last long. It lasted less than a year, about 10 months maybe. I started tweaking it in May 2017. I was on probation by March. Yeah, the honeymoon was that was over then. But so I'm on probation March 2018, and I'm getting ready. I get out. You get out of jail, right? You get a probation in court. I get out. I gotta go take a piss test. Okay, I pissed clean. I just got out of jail, and I know I'm fucked at this point though. 'Cause right after the piss test, I went to go get high again. So now I'm fucked. I remember I was sitting there, ironically, at a different Chili's with my ex-wife, and I was looking at her. She's laughing, having a good time, and I'm just looking at her, and all I can think is how fucked I am. Cause my ex-wife, she had 2 kids, and I take care of these people, right? And I'm still on drugs. I'm on probation. That means I'm fucked. They're fucked. I remember sitting there thinking, I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, I'm fucked. And yeah, for real. Like, I knew it. So I got there, and I sit there, and I tell her, like, I just told her what it was. I never snitched on myself. Like, she knew I smoked, but like, I never would tell her myself. It was the first time I told her myself. I was like, I got to do something. Like, I'm getting high. I'm on probation, and you guys depend on me. Like, this is bad. And I made the decision to go to rehab for the first time in 2018. It was April 2018. And the first time I went to rehab, I went in with the wrong mindset, like at all. Like all these tools you have, like all that stuff that makes me coachable these days, like I had none of that, dude. Like I did not go in there humble. I went in there cocky. I didn't go in there open-minded. I went in there argumentative. I didn't go in there, man, I don't even know. There's a lot of things I do well now that the first time I went to rehab, that were like complete weaknesses. It was bad. Like I remember, so the first day I get to rehab, they don't really mess with you. I go there high, obviously. And I check in, and they let you sleep for 3 days, right? And the 4th day I wake up, and I'm like, damn, I got a program today. So the first class, me and Brett were just talking about this earlier. The first class I go to, I'm not lying, this is like what turned me off from rehab the first day. We're in there, we're all talking to each other, right? And at this time, I'm doing pretty well. I got a lot of things going on, like I got a situation at home, and I think it was a lot of the reasons I couldn't really give myself to the program yet was I really didn't feel like everybody else in the room, You're sitting there, you're talking with everybody, and they don't have nothing yet, you know what I mean? All of them have nothing. And like I'm sitting there, and I have 2 cars, I have bills to pay, I got a wife at home, she's got kids, I got all this stuff, right? And I'm talking with these people, and then one of the first guys, he starts breaking down in class. This is another thing, I was judgmental, very judgmental. This guy, he breaks down in class talking about he used to sell his body for drugs, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like mind you, I never been in recovery before, Like I really didn't mess with drug addicts that much. Like I smoked myself, but I lived my life. I lived a normal life, and I had like a lot of. Basically, after that class, we had lunch. I drank a pot of coffee. I just walked out of there. I walked home. I walked like 70 blocks. Dude. Like I know Jesse knows Phoenix. I was on 16th Street in Phoenix. I lived all the way on 59th Avenue in Glendale. Yeah, I busted a mission. I'm getting out of here. So I'm still on probation though, right? And but the crazy part, I didn't walk out of there to get high. You know what I mean? I didn't walk out of there to get high. I stayed sober for 2 weeks, but like I didn't walk out of there to get high. But so now I'm still on probation, right? And I'm going like this in probation. I'm just like, there's a piss test, and I might go take it, or I'll say my card got declined, or I put out all the excuses you could. I can't even remember all the excuses I came up with. I came up with like 3 or 4 good excuses, but like it didn't last long, So then finally my probation officer, she gets tired of it, and the second time I go to rehab, she forces me into rehab. And this time in rehab though, I learned a little bit because don't ask me why, I don't even remember why or how, but the second time I went to rehab, I didn't learn very much. It was a 30-day program, but I started believing in God there for some reason. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, because I remember I got stuck. They were telling me the first step. We admitted we're powerless over our addiction. You go to rehab, right? They're like, you're on step 1. You're on step 1. I was like, I already did step 1. Like, how would I? My mindset used to be, how would I get here if I didn't understand step 1? What would I be doing in rehab if I thought my life was manageable? What would I be doing in rehab if I didn't know I was powerless? I used to sit, like I said, I was argumentative when I first came in, And I used to sit there and like say that, and I used to skip over first step, skip over it. But I started looking at the second step, and like the second and third step made more sense to me. But like can't say I learned the second and third step. Like for some reason though, what I took from the 30-day program, I started believing in God, right? So I get out of my 30-day treatment. While I was in treatment, my wife actually divorced me that time. But yeah, so I kind of lost everything once. That's another thing. Meth did take everything from me a few times. I'll get to that point of how I feel about meth. But so I'm trying to go with the story in order if it makes any sense. But at the end of the day, I don't like meth, trust me. But yeah, so all right, so I stayed. Well, I did a 30-day treatment, and I stayed sober for 7.5 months that time. But so I got sober. I remember I thought it was cool too. It was August 24th. I'm a big Kobe Bryant fan. I got sober Kobe Bryant Day. I thought that was really cool. And the crazy part, you'll never guess what day I relapsed in 2019. April Fool's Day. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a weird run. And from that point forward, from April Fool's Day all the way till, I mean, I went to jail so many times in between. Like, if I went to jail, I got sober after that, but there was no sobriety at all. Like, for real, it was, I met another girl after that, and we stayed at her mom's house, and we neither one of us worked. And kind of like, she sort of enabled us for a while. I didn't have to work for 4 years. And yeah, you can only imagine what we were doing at her mom's house. All that, but that went on for way too long in my life. You know what I mean? And yeah, but the third time I went to rehab was 2 minutes. All right, I'm gonna wrap this story up now. I'm surprised I went this long. How long did you say? 3 minutes. All right, cool. All right, but yeah, so the third time I went to rehab, it was also court ordered. Mind you, at this point, like I said, those 4 years I was with this girl, I've been in and out of jail about, I don't even know, like maybe 10 times. But always for petty stuff, you know what I mean? Like 2 weeks, a month here, 3 months here, 6 months here. Just run back to this girl, keep smoking. But the seventh time I went to county jail, I got a program. And for some reason, when I got the program, I considered it like a miracle because I was going to trial at the time. And I kind of bluffed them because I thought I was going to lose in trial, but I thought I'd get like some of the charges knocked off. But it had wound up being the best thing that ever happened to me because I got a program out of it. And I did the 90-day program at the Palm House. And I really didn't learn that much there either because the first time my ex, she came to see me, and she was high, right? And when someone high comes to see you at rehab, guess what the rehab did to me for 90 days after that? The whole class trying to get me to break up with this girl. And I didn't even have the nerve to tell him, like, you know, halfway through there, she broke up with me, but I was stuck in that argument. Like, I'm not gonna break up with that. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I didn't have the, what is it called? I wasn't gonna let them win that argument. But she broke up with me halfway through. Yeah. But so then, I really didn't learn much there either. But this time, my fourth time in rehab, I did more jail time after that. And this time in rehab, I checked myself in this time. I came for my own reasons. You know, I just did 9 months in jail. And I figured, man, if I do 9 months in jail, I come to a 90-day program, I'm going to get 1 year under my belt, right? And I didn't even know about the 1 year in sober living yet. So by the time I get to that point, I'll have 2 years under my belt. Maybe I'll be afraid to smoke 2 years of sobriety. That's my theory. Because I'll be honest with you, I really don't know what's going to keep me sober. I just know that this will keep me sober. Like, that's all I really got. Like, there's nothing in my track record that's like, oh, I'm going to stay sober because I can do this, this, and that. None of that's true. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping the reasons that I stay sober, I'm still waiting to learn them. Like, I mean, I know I'm on the path. I'm in the very early stages of it, but like, I can't sit here and tell you, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna keep doing the program, you know, because all those things I said I was in the beginning, where I was arrogant, I was cocky, I was argumentative. Like, none of that's true about me. You can ask anybody about me no more. I'm not like that at all. Like, you know, I've grown a lot, and it's not like I've grown a lot right here. It's just I've grown a lot from a certain point I was at in life, you know. And I've done a lot of thinking through the years, like thinking, like, you know, they tell people don't get trapped in your head. For me, that's not such a bad thing. Like, I'm really not like, I don't know, like when I get trapped in my head, like good things come from it, you know? Like, yeah, if you do some good thinking in jail, it means you're a good thinker. Because when you're in jail, like, there's really not, you know what I mean? All they do is romance drugs in there. If you come out of a place where everybody's romancing drugs, you want to go to rehab, you were doing something right, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I really got for you guys. You guys have a good night.
All right, let's give David another round of applause. Thanks, David. Hey, David, whatever it takes. You stay here a year, you'll have that time for you. By that time, you never know. They could up RBH even longer. We'll just keep you here, keep you safe. All right, let's take a 10-minute break.
went to this place called Nico's.
Oh, 160?
Yeah.
I love that fucking place. It's the best, yeah. They're the
I'm
best.
from Vancouver, brother. I just had that shit. And I was like, that shit.
Yeah, you get the longshoreman pizza right there?
No. It was, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you gotta order the longshoreman. That's just like the all meat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, no, we had the, it was one of them. It was like pepperoni, sausage. It was, and they put real good sausage. They don't put that phony shit.
But yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
what
it's good. It's good. Yeah.
There's another spot up on 9th Street, cafe called Vanilla.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, right. Vanillos?
Right there, 9th and Gaffey.
Hey, he's from New York. What?
But you're from New York, you're a family's friend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in that group. Yeah, you were talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, coming out and everything. Yeah, Glenn.
I would see you. I would see you. Nice to meet you, man. I think he just plants. Yeah, no, I told you the last one. I think I told you. He called Nancy and spoke to Nancy. You can't even move.
All right. Ooh, hang tight. All right, let's start the second half of the meeting with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right, we have a special speaker coming to us tonight, all the way from New York. I've heard briefly that he's traveled around and shared his experience, strength, and hope in many of places. So let's give a round warm of applause for Caesar. Come on up.
Oh boy. I always get so nervous. No matter how many times I do this, I get very nervous, All right. My name is Caesar, and I'm a grateful recovering addict. Caesar. It's an honor. Thank you, Rob and Nancy and Roxy. Oh boy. I'm fucking hot. I had 3 cups of coffee, boy. Woo! So I'm on fire. All right. Okay. Oh man. I'm a Narcotics Anonymous member, and I've been a Narcotics Anonymous member since the first day I went to rehab. I was where you were, right? Except different, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I had to go away to Florida to get clean. You know, I knew nothing about recovery. Like it never hit me that I can just not use, right? I grew up, you know, my dad was always with a beer, you know what I'm saying? You know, my parties, you know, when I was a kid, they give me, you know, I thought it was cool. I thought it was all right. You know, I didn't think there was nothing wrong with, you know, when I was a kid, I never said, when I grow up, I want to be an addict. It's not something that, matter of fact, I'll tell you, it took me to the age of 41 to finally surrender. Listen, the gift of desperation, that God brought me to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know how you got here. I don't know. I remember how I got here. And they say those who forget are doomed to repeat. So if you made it back, you are fucking beyond blessed. I would not be that lucky. I know. Check this out. Because I was like, I checked out. I ain't no tecato. I ain't no junkie. I ain't no junkie, man. Fucking, I just do cocaine, you know. Right? I just fucking pop pills. You know, I just drink a beer, a 40 ounce. You know? Jack Daniels. That's it. On the weekends. I'm allowed to, man. Check this out. I, at the time, was a New York City Department of Buildings plumbing inspector, right? Before I left New York to move here, I was the assistant chief plumbing inspector of New York City. Yeah, fucking big title, you know. Badge, you know, fucking, yeah. I'm fucking almost fucking homeless now, broke like a motherfucker. The only thing I got to show for the 16 years I worked in New York, right, is an Xbox, a fucking Switch, and a PlayStation. I ain't got no car. I didn't have a car in New York, you know. I took the train everywhere, buses, you know, and wore a fancy fucking uniform, you know, with a badge. Right? Now look at me in sweats and fucking Timberlands, you know. But check this out. I'm clean. So check this out. You could be an asshole, a scumbag, cheat on your wife, cheat on your husband. You could be fucking an asshole, right? As long as you are clean today, it's a successful day. No matter what. No matter what. I've been through a lot of no matter whats, bro. And that's why I still hold on to my first white key tag, right? Because it's everything. Listen, I didn't stick needles in my arm. I wasn't homeless, right? So to me, that was a tecato, a junkie. I don't fucking stick needles in my arm, man. I ain't like them. Those same people are showing me how to stay clean one day at a time. We addicts, alcoholics, right? Alcohol's a drug. For me, alcohol's a drug. Check this out. We are extraordinary people just trying to be ordinary. So we're fucking special. No, listen, man, you gotta tell yourself that shit, man. Listen. I don't know how important staying clean is to you, but for me, I white clawed this shit. My brother, the worst pain I have ever been in was when I saw my brother die. All right, and I'm gonna explain that to you. All right, this is what happened. Right, it was 2018. I get a phone call. My brother's in the hospital, right? I would take my brother, come on, Nani, man, come to me, come with me to meetings, bro. I'm telling you, bro, he was the tecato, my brother. He was the junkie, right? He was the one that tucked needle in his arm, wrap himself up, do the Dauphine lean, him. I'd be like, yo, Nani, come, bro. come, man. I'm telling you, bro. I had a fire. I put a cape on. I wanted to save his life, right? Listen, this is not for those who need it. This is for those who want it. You have to want this shit. You have to want it in your fucking heart. You gotta remember that fucking last day. It has to be in your heart. If it's not, go back out there. I told the sponsor the other day. He was like, yo, I feel like drinking a beer. I said, you want me to cash app you the money? This ain't no fucking joke, bro. This disease wants you dead, but it wants you to suffer first. And everyone you love to suffer. All right, because when my brother was dying, right, I went to the hospital and I was like, "Yo, what's up, Django, man? How you doing, bro? Yo, nah, man. Whatever, this and that. You fuck that, And I left, right? Then they called me. I went back in, and as I'm walking into the hospital, all I can hear is, "Ah! Ah! Ah!" And I'm like, "What the fuck? What are they doing to my brother?" So I walk into the room and I see 5 bottles of yellow liquid on the floor. There were liters, 5 liters, all lined up, right? Like perfectly. And I'm like, what the fuck? He was bloated, right? Because his kidney was failing, his liver was failing, right? And so they drained him. You could put your finger inside the hole. The hole was that big where you could put your finger inside the hole, right? And he was saying, right, the doctor was leaving. They finished draining him of the 5 liters. And the doctor goes to me, listen, your brother, if he wants a new kidney, he has to stop, right? And I said, oh, I know, doc, no problem, I'll talk to him, And the doctor left. So he's like grimacing and just fucking pain. I'm like, yo, Django, you gotta stop, man. You gotta stop, man. You gotta stop, bro. You don't wanna live, bro? I swear, my brother looked me dead in the eye and said, I ain't fucking stopping. That's the disease of addiction. I ain't fucking stopping. Yo, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. The doctor said maybe 3 months. You gotta stop. I ain't fucking stopping, Si. I saw the disease, bro, clearly in my fucking face, bro. My whole, when you get that feeling where your soul drops, like, oh man, bro, I gotta prepare for this, there's you can't prepare for death like that, when my I want to say 2 days later, or maybe a week later, it was like maybe a month later, actually, he went to ICU. I showed up at the hospital. He was on a machine, and we were praying, me, my mom, my sisters, and they called it, he's gone. And I'll never forget the scream my mother made. No! Like that scream, I can still feel it in my fucking body, like in my soul, bro. Like I hearing your mother like that yell, I don't want to do that to my mother, A month later, my father died, so I was really put to the test, But because I did what I know, right? Because if you're new, right, they say make 90 meetings in 90 days, right? Get and use a sponsor. Get phone numbers at every meeting. Dial them, don't file them. You hear this I've heard this for coming up on 13 years, God willing, and the creek don't rise, right? March 15th, hopefully, I'll make it to 13, right? I don't. That's right, I got 12. That's right, I got 12. That's right. You listen, you never know, man. I don't have any reservations because I've been working on steps, and I know I don't have any reservations, but you never know, Because there's days I'm walking and all of a sudden the disease will just check in and be like, yo, what's up, man? Remember that corona? Because that's easy, That it'll check in to see if you're ready to check out. That's right. Like it'll check in. Because the disease is cunning, baffling, and insidious, right? Now, if you're new and you're here for a little while, right? This is a 25-year anniversary of Narcotics Anonymous, basic text, right? The good thing about this book is that it's not big, it's very basic. That's right. All right? And check this out. After I surrendered and I say, yo, I'm an addict. I was like, fuck it, I'm an addict. I'm an addict, bro. I'm an addict. I went amongst a special group of people. Listen, man, we're fucking badasses, bro. I don't know what you guys did for your drugs, right? But I'm sure you came up with brilliant ideas together. Come on, stop playing with me, man. Woo! I'm sweating like a motherfucker. I'm gonna take this off, right, guys? I'm just hot. I'm fucking hot. All right. Woo! All right. Check this out. This is in Recovery and Relapse, right? Page 84. Many of us get clean in a protected environment, such as rehabilitation center or recovery house, right? When we re-enter the world, we feel lost, confused, and vulnerable. Yo, listen, I'm telling you, when I went to rehab and they say, yo, Caesar, you're leaving on Tuesday, I felt exactly what it says right here. I felt lost, confused, and vulnerable. I'm like, how the fuck do they know how I feel? Because I'm an addict. I'm amongst a special group of people. Remember that? So check this out. Going to meetings as often as possible will reduce the shock of change. Meetings provide a safe place to share with others. We begin to live the program. We learn to apply spiritual principles in our lives. We must use what we learn or we will lose it in a relapse. I cannot afford to try one more. I can't. And listen, I continuously remind myself. I have to be reminded. And check this out. You could, right, go outside, get hit by a car right now, however much time you got clean, right? Hit by a car, be in a coma, right? And be in a coma for, let's say, 2 years. You'll be clean 2 years. But you won't have any recovery. Recovery is an ongoing process. You have to work to change. They told me, change or die, Caesar. And I said, I don't want to die, man. I was desperate to come here. I said, God, please help me. You know how many times I asked God to help me? Come on, God, man. Let him come already, bro. I'm with my kid in the street, man. I need it. I'm just like you. Listen, I haven't stuck needles in my arms yet because you're eligible too. I'm not better than you because I didn't fucking stick needles. I just didn't get there. I know if I try, listen, I could try. I love drugs, bro. You know, listen, and then I hear there's songs that continuously go in my head. I want to get high, so high. Come on, man. Listen, man, these fucking songs, man, remind me. You know, the old bugaboos start to haunt me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how the disease works. I know. Know your disease. No one is trying to sneak up on you like that. Because it's going to do it very subtly. It'll say, fuck that guy. He's from New York, man. What the fuck does he know? I'm telling you, listen. Careful who you judge, for they may one day save your life.
That's right. Come on, man.
Don't shoot the fucking messenger. I'm telling you. You know how many dudes I say, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy gonna say to me? He got 2 years, Fuck does he know? Nah, man. Listen, I try to work this first step constantly. It's the how of the program: honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. With these, we are well on our way. This ain't no stage show. I'm passionate about this. This shit saved my life. Still, no matter what, broke, it don't matter. I'm clean. God has pulled me out. I'm sorry. Don't let the word God scare you. Don't let the word God scare you. All right? This was a God-given program. It says it, right? But don't let the word God. You could be an atheist and work this program. Just fine. Whatever God you want, And that's what I love about this. My God changes. Sometimes I borrow Rob's God. Listen. I have to stay open-minded. I don't have this. I ain't ever gonna have it. If I want to get to 13 years, I gotta stay in the fucking process. I'm talking about me. I don't know what you guys are doing. It don't matter. All I'm telling you is that the disease that I fucking struggle with wants me dead. And it's gonna come in, what's up, like this. I'm telling you, watch that motherfucker. Watch him, because if you did make it back, you're blessed, man. I know I won't, man. Yo, I got a good run in me, boy. I'm fucking healthy still, 54 years old. Fucking, come on, boy. Come on. I got a month-old baby, a 2-year-old. Woo! It's the disease will fuck you up. Yo, I'm telling you, man. Still clean no matter what. My brother died, my father died, my grandmothers died, 2 of them. My grandfather died. No matter what, make a meeting. Share about where you're at. Listen, they told me a long time ago, how could you think that a bunch of crazy ass motherfuckers are gonna think that your fucking crazy ideas don't make sense? It don't fucking matter. We're all fucking crazy. We're beautiful, but crazy. All right, I'm gonna keep it on me. You guys, maybe the people in New York are crazy, and me, right? Another type of relapse happens when being clean is not the top priority. Staying clean must always come first. At times, we all experience difficulty in our recovery. Emotional lapses result when we don't practice what we have learned. Those who make it through these times show a courage not of their own. You think it was easy having to plan my brother and father's funeral within the same month? That shit was not easy. But because I was clean, I was able to do that. There's a preparation going on here for me. I'm an addict. I can make a mountain out of a fucking molehill. I'm talking about me. If you're anything like me, right? Because I love drugs still. I just know I can't have them. I had shoulder surgery and it hurt like a motherfucker. I'm gonna have more shoulder surgery because I fucked it up. I love drugs. I'm not kidding. And so the doctors will quickly want to give you something for it. They don't give a fuck. Listen, I had a kidney stone. I had a kid, and I don't know if any of you guys, it's like the male pregnancy. I don't know. Man, that shit hurt like a motherfucker. Matter of fact, I never fainted, but I almost fainted. And I felt like a bitch. So I was like fucking, I'm in pain. And they called, my girl called the ambulance came, and I was in fucking pain, like, and then the nurse was like, oh, get him some morphine. I said, no! I don't want morphine. I don't want morphine. I fucking love that shit. I'm not fucking kidding, bro. I might not come back. My sons need me. Maybe you need me. I stay clean in the memory of my brother Django. May he forever rest in peace, man. He didn't get this, man. We don't have to die, bro. We don't have to die, man. There's a better fucking way, man. This place, I'm telling you, man, no matter what, no matter what, man. Before I left New York, they said, we're going to give you the chief position. I was going to be the chief. Fucking chief. And I said, nah. I'm going to quit, move to California, get on assistance, and raise 2 boys. I'm still jobless 3 years later. But I still, man, I'm living my 3rd step. Faith. I have faith, man. I have faith that I'll be all right, man. It's different. Anyone could say, yo, I did the 1st step, man. I did the 2nd step, man. I did the 3rd step, man. But are you living it? Are you really, really living it? Are you living it? Are you still a fucking asshole, or do you still not listen? Then you're not living it. You could talk, man. Talk is fucking cheap, man. I see many talkers in my time here in Narcotics Anonymous. But listen, after what, I need everyone. And no matter how, no matter what, you keep coming, you're gonna get a turn. Cause everybody gets a turn here. I used to judge, I still sometimes, I ain't gonna fucking bullshit you. I ain't gonna fucking This guy used to come into the meeting, right? I was a home group member of Clean Machine in New York City. It's like one of the oldest, I think it was the 2nd oldest meeting in New York City, right? And this guy would come in jingling, like with these key tags, like, and he'll have chains and fucking walk and jingling. I'm like, this fuck he thinks he is, you know what I mean? Fucking jerk off. So fucking what? Anybody could buy those fucking things, right? I earned all these motherfuckers. So he had like 20-something years, and in the meeting, in the format, it says, please do not curse, because the priest was like, it was in a church, and the priest slept like behind where the meeting like was, right? So all right, so he'd come in, and that's the first thing he'd do, fucking curse, loud, and fucking be loud, be loud and jingling while fucking the meeting's going on, making noise, interrupting the meeting. I'm like, this fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Fucking, don't you got 20-something years, motherfucker? Like, come on. Show us some fucking tradition, fucking spiritual principles, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Fucking asshole. But I always heard his message. I always listened. Because I'm here to save my life. This is a fellowship of survival. This is a fellowship of survival, whether you like me or not. I wanna live. So I'm gonna tell you my experience, strength, and hope. Maybe, it'll help somebody. Maybe, I don't know. I know it's helping the fuck out of me. All right, so check it out. So he's jingling and making all this noise and cursing and shit, and I'm like, but I heard, check this out. But my first fetal position, you know what a fetal position is? You ever been in a fetal position? No. I mean, let's hold on. Stay clean and go through some shit. You know, that pain. Where you're like, oh, you don't know what else to do but to curl up into a ball. Like, God, please, stop the pain, God, please. Stop the pain, like the pain. Like fucking, oh man, I've been in the fetal position a couple of times, bro. And I remember him saying, that same fucking jerk off, if you're awake at midnight, past midnight, call me. I'll answer the phone. I work late. And I was in a fetal position. And I couldn't stand this fucking guy. But I remember him saying it. And I called him in my first fetal position. I just left the house that I fucking was raising my sons at in New York. You know, I love my sons and I stood in this relationship because I had to raise my sons. Like I had to be there for my sons. And I couldn't, because I couldn't be with her, and we just argued, and I was like hardly home because of her and her fucking mother, my mother-in-law, and fucking, you know. I wasn't working spiritual festival, I'll tell you that. So I may have been on my third step, you know. So I fucking finally got an apartment, and I moved out, and I was alone in my first apartment, away from my sons and not raising them, and I felt like in the fetal position, crying. I called him, and he stood on the phone with me for 45 minutes. I love that motherfucker. That same guy I judged. Same guy. So careful who you judge, for they may one day save your life. You know, the disease is going to try to play you like a sucker. It's going to tell you, fuck that guy from New York. Fuck the guy with the Raiders hat. Fuck the... No, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I ain't going to that meeting. This guy with the fucking Lakers shit is always there, bro. You know what I mean? Fucking bald, tall motherfucker, you know? I'm only fucking 5'5", you know. It's fucking... Take that shit off, bro. Fucking... Little by little, it's gonna try to take you away from us, right? I ain't gonna make that meeting no more. Fuck him. I ain't gonna make that meeting. She's a fucking whore, bro. You know? No, listen. I'm telling you, that's the disease of it. It's gonna try to convince me. It's gonna try to play me like you don't need to go there. Make another meeting, and then you make another meeting, and then you're gonna be like, fuck that guy too, man. He talks a lot of shit. They got this guy sharing again. The fuck does he know? You know, is he dealing with the shit I'm dealing with? No, listen, that's my disease. That's how my disease tried to play me. And when my brother died and my father died, you know what I did? I made a meeting. Because I was noticing myself not making meetings. Meetings makers make it. But you got, listen, if you want to stay, if you really want to stay, you got to change. Change or die. Or use I must. Or will. I don't want to die today. I don't want to die. I continue to work the steps of Narcotics Anonymous. I have a service commitment on the Zoom platform. It's a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. It started March 16th, 2020. So it's coming up on 5 years. It's called Alive in Brooklyn. You know, if you guys want the information, I'll hook you guys up. I've been in I chair that meeting on Mondays. I co-chair on Fridays. I have a home group out here, a live one. It's the Monterey Men's Stag. You know, listen, I'm not, if you are, that's fine. I got nothing against nobody, but I've never been so excited to be surrounded by so many men. Yeah, like no homo, And I'm sorry, forgive me. I have nothing. Let me tell you something. I have nothing. If you all whatever, good for you. God bless you. If anything, when I was single, I was like, more women for me. For real. Why should I hate you, motherfucker? You're hooking me up. How much time? 8 minutes. Wow. All right. All right. I've been through a lot of different situations in Narcotics Anonymous. But I stay because it's the best thing that I've ever done in my life. I carry my key tags with pride, man. I got my GED, right? It's good enough diploma, right? I passed by 1 point. By 1 fucking point. Yeah, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy, right? I won second place in a bodybuilding tournament in 1987. 1987, bro. Some of you guys weren't born, I know. Second place, man. I was proud of that fucking trophy, bro. The disease will always try to tell me I'm shit. It'll always try to tell me you're nothing. You're a piece of shit, man. Fuck it, use. This is what it tells me. And check it out, it tells me in a Brooklyn accent. Yeah. And if it wants to be a real dick, it'll say, come on, ese. Listen, man. I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed out here in California, man. I love to listen, man. This is a beautiful place to retire. I'll tell you that much. Better than fucking Florida. Fuck Florida. No, Florida's nice. Florida's nice. Too many Cubans. I'm New Yorican, First generation. That's right. Both parents Puerto Rico, straight from Puerto Rico. There is something in our self-centered personality that cries for failure. Most of us feel like we don't deserve to succeed. This is a common theme for most addicts, right? When they told me, when I was working in the building department, and they said, Caesar, you're gonna be a supervisor. You know how I was gonna get that position? The guy that became a supervisor died. It's fucked up. That's fucked up, right? Caesar, you're gonna be the supervisor now? You're up next, I'm like, oh shit, the jig is up. I said the jig is up. They're gonna know I don't know fucking shit. There is something in our self-destructive personalities that cries for failure. Most of us feel that we don't deserve to succeed. This is a common theme for most addicts, man. I'm one of the most, right? I'm just talking about me. My disease will always try to play me for a sucker. You ain't ready for that position, bro. You don't fucking know. Thank you, brother. I just gotta say, fuck you. You know, I'm gonna give it my best and keep it moving. Check it out. The disease cannot hit a moving target. No, listen, if I stay stuck in like, oh, I'm shit, I'm that, but it's a molehill that's becoming a mountain little by little by little by little, and then by the time you know it, I'm like, fuck that, I'm gonna use. Listen, I've seen it. Bro, I'm gonna tell, listen, when I can't, listen, I've seen, listen, if you're new, right, it's highly suggested that you get yourself a black suit. Because you're going to make a lot of funerals. This is fucking real. Right? And if you decide to pick it up, we could put that beautiful suit on you. Because this disease is no joke. I'm telling you, this is a fellowship of survival, man. I wanna live. Caesar A wants to live. All right? I don't, you know, my sons need to see me. My son, listen, I'm still there for my sons, even though they live in New York. You know, one of them just swore into the Coast Guard. You know, and that, oh man, I cried like a bitch. You know, I'm gonna go see him graduate. You know, like that's fucking beautiful, bro. To spend time with them so that they know that I still love them and they still mean that much to me. That I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning so I can play video games with them. Because it's 8 o'clock in New York. So they know every weekend I'm gonna get up at 5 in the morning so I can hang out with my sons in New York. Because although I have 2 sons here, they are my first 2. And I still love them. Listen, I'm telling you, bro, only Narcotics Anonymous did this for me. Because I didn't give a fuck, bro. This is my firstborn met Killer. Killer was my first drug, was my drug dealer, you know. I'm like, come on. I told my ex, I said, yo, Sandy, I'll be back. I'm going to go take Brandon to the store. We need some milk, you know. And boom, I'll be waiting for Killer and shit. Just waiting for him. And, you know, New York's cold, you know. And you know, he's like, come on, you know, come on, Dad. You know, I want to go home. I'm like, yo, just chill out, bro. Just chill out, you know. He don't remember that. Thank God he don't remember that. He's 19 now, you know. He showed up after like an hour and a half later after saying he'd be right there. Fucking scumbag. I got in the car, oh, hey, Brandon, this is Killer Brandon. I could only imagine what my 6-year-old kid was thinking in his head. Killer? They know what killer means, right, at 6? Killer? My friend. If cops go chasing him, man, listen, I never done prison time. I did what we call in New York bullpen therapy, right? You get arrested, you get, the week you stay there, you know what I mean? For the weekend, 3-4 times maybe, But listen, I've seen people clean get arrested. Because this disease is no joke. It'll get you one way or another if you're not working on yourself. So, before I close, relapse can be the destructive force that kills us or leads us to the realization of who and what we really are. The misery of using is not worth the temporary escape it might give us. For us to use is to die, often in more ways than one. I don't know about you. I'm definitely not willing to take that chance. My life is good. I'm not a fucking assistant chief or chief of New York, but I'm clean, I'm alive, my sons love me, I got another chance. Listen, man, being clean is the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. And that's why I'm so proud to rock these fucking key tags, man. Man, I earned every one of these, bro. I've cried through a couple of these motherfuckers, man. And I strive to continue to get more, just one day at a time. All I got today, if you got listen, I don't think about yesterday and I don't think about tomorrow. I stay in today, right? It's a gift. Thank you for letting me share.
That's my dog.
Let's give Caesar another round of applause. Thank you. All right, Michael, you ready to come on up? And we don't have key tags, we have chips, but they work the same way. Come on up.
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm an alcoholic addict. Michael. I'm also your chip chick at this meeting. Here at Fred Brown Recovery Services, we like to celebrate various lengths of sobriety, starting with the most important person in the room, the newcomer. With anyone with 29 days or less, like to come up and get a chip and a hug. Rick. What's your name, brother?
Jesse.
Jesse. New York. Joe. Jack, addict.
Anthony, alcoholic.
Anyone else? Cool. What about 30 days? 60 days. All right. Hell yeah. All right. What about 90 days?
All right. Luis at it.
Luis. What about 6 months? What about 9 months? Exactly. And I also got 9 months. All right. Thank you, Nancy. And the illustrious 18 months. That's 6 months over a county lit, if anyone doesn't know. We also celebrate birthdays at the end of every month, and that happens to be tonight. Anyone with 1 year.
My name is Marcelino and I'm an addict.
Marcelino, hold on one second. Bring it up. What's your name?
Kevin, I'm an addict.
Anyone with 2 years? 3, 4, 5, 7, 6.
I taught him that shit.
I learned from the best.
Mad addict.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to 25, 26 to Bill and Bob. All right. Take it away.
My name is Marcelino and I am an addict. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my higher power for putting me on that wake-up list this morning. And in 375 days, I haven't found it necessary to get loaded, and it's all because of this 12-step of Narcotics Anonymous that taught me a new way of living. You know, I've been in a lot of places up and down the state of California, man. Like, I've taken the CDCR tour all over the place, man. And I failed to recognize that because I've been to these places that I was building a prison in my own mind, man. You know? And I could not catch an unlock at all. You know, I got released from these state prisons plenty of times, right? But I could not realize that I was locked in my head. You know, till I came to Narcotics Anonymous, made a decision, and I was finally caught and unlocked. Thanks to Narcotics Anonymous showing me a new way of living. Thank you very much for letting me share and being part of my
All right. Wow, this is something right here. This chip, man. I am Kevin. I am an addict. I want to say thank you very, very much to my Fred Brown staff and my Fred Brown regulators, that's for sure. They really helped me out a lot. I've been through a lot, and I'd like to thank the speaker for today, too, because he opened up my eyes a lot as well. I almost died at this program, to tell you the truth, and I didn't even want to be here, and I wasn't even gonna come, but I'm glad I did. And today I'm thankful for being this clean and for changing. I did have something written down I was gonna say. So I can admit that sometimes I've been the problem. I've put in the work to heal, to grow, to break cycles I never wanted to be part of. But no matter how far I've come, there are still moments when the past creeps back in. Old wounds, old habits, they show up when they least expect it. And I have to remind myself that I don't have to live in the survival mode anymore. I'm safe now. I'm learning to let go, finding peace with myself and in this process. And every day, I'm working on letting intrusive thoughts win. Healing isn't easy, but I'm showing up for it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And thank you for letting me share.
I don't know about anybody else, but this microphone is kind of irritating me because I can hear like the echo and shit, so bear with me. My name's Matt and I'm an addict. First off, I got to thank the God of my understanding for another day clean. The program, the fellowship, and the rooms in Narcotics Anonymous, man, because if it wasn't for that combo, I definitely wouldn't have the life I have today. I have a clean date of February 15th, 2019. And on that day, on the day before Valentine's Day, I do what we do, and I got a bright idea, right? The brilliant ideas, right, that Caesar was talking about. And I was in an illegal gambling house, and I had the bright idea that I was going to double my money because I was going to get her roses and I was going to buy more dope. But God had other plans. And it got raided. Out of the 40-plus people that were in there, 3 of us went to jail. And I got conditionally released to treatment, and I've been clean ever since. How I did it, man, this is before, right? Like yes, I'm a counselor at Fred Brown. Yes, I work in treatment. Yes, you guys see me on a daily basis. But treatment is not my recovery program, right? Through treatment, I was introduced to Narcotics Anonymous. They told me where to go, what to do, who to meet, how to do things,
And so when I got out of treatment, right, like I followed those suggestions because I knew nothing else. I had nothing else. And change or die. And thank God, man, that I got clean when I did pre-COVID. Because even though I acted out on defect, with meeting people and making relationships, right? Like 20 years clean, 30 years clean, right? Like big chains and nice cars and people pleasers, or people, like, I wanted to be known as like, I'm the newcomer, right? I got 60 days clean, and don't you know who I know? Like, don't you know who I am? Like, even though I acted out on defect and got those friends, right? Like, this program taught me, right? Like, how to build a healthy relationship with people. And thank God that I have those people in my life, because they've helped me through some of the no matter what's, until this day, right? The man school, right? I go to men's stag meetings. I go to step studies. I have a home group. I am of service. I work steps. I have a sponsor, right? And I do not use consistently on a daily basis, man. And for those of you, right, that are in my group, and for those of you that see me on a daily basis, right, like everything that I tell you on a daily basis, if you think that is bullshit, right, like Caesar just came up here and spit the truth, right, and I fucking love Caesar. I love this program because it introduces me to individuals like him, right, like it introduces me into individuals like you, and so you got to change your diet, man. And this last year, can be summed up in 3 words. Like awareness, action, and commitment. And I came to understand what that meant because I was on the verge of getting fired by my sponsor because I got complacent. It was hurting, and I didn't know what to do, and I was aware that I was messing up. You noticed that you weren't going to meetings, right? The awareness. And so like I told on myself, and I called my sponsor, and I knew it didn't sit right. I had a little bit of integrity. I had a little bit of program. I called my sponsor, and I told him, how do we fix this? And he goes, go to more meetings, call me more, get into your step work, right? Like, let's fucking do this thing, man. He didn't give up on me. And he told me awareness, action, and commitment will get it done. And so I did that. I increased my awareness, right? Like some of the things and some of the areas, right, that needed working on, where I was falling short, and I put into action, right? Like not like, oh, well, I need to do this, right? Like actual action, physical action in trying to correct those behaviors. And the commitment is the hardest part. I don't care who you are. Commitment is the hardest part. It's staying true to the action that you took in order to take care of the awareness. And that's how I was able to get to this last year and navigate the weird feeling of success. Because yes, I became a certified counselor, but still, like, I do not know, right, like what that fucking feels like. And so, like, I want to act out, right, on defect. And it's really, really hard, but thank God for this process, because like the more that I'm in the process, the more that I'm able to deal with the uncomfortable. And today, right, like I get to be like a fiance and a future husband, right, like in partaking in planning a wedding, something that I never thought that I would have. I'm a dependable, reliable, like trustworthy family member, friend, right, brother, son, cousin, all that shit, man. But none of it would be possible. And employee. I am employable, yes. Well, not anywhere else. This is where I'm at, but and an employee. Thank you to those that came before me. If you're in this room and you were here before I was, thank you for coming before me, keeping the doors open to long enough for an addict like me, man, to come in here and trying to find my way. If you're a part of this company, if you were or is like a part of this company, you play a really big part in saving my life, because this is where I learned, right, like how to be the best version of myself outside, in groups, outside, in all of this, right, like would not be possible without Narcotics Anonymous and God, right? If you're new, right, like get a relationship with a higher power. Get into the basic text, be of service, go to meetings. Like the suggestions, right, that Caesar was up here talking about, like, go ahead and do it, man, because it will change your life. Yeah, it seems scary. Yeah, it seems foreign. Yeah, it feels weird. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, all that shit, man. But, like, you just got to hold on to your seat, man, and strap in for the ride, because it's not easy, but it does get better. Thank you for sharing.
All right, please eat more cake. We have a lot of it in the back. Anyone with a year or more, please raise your hand. Just goes to show that this program does work. Thank you for letting me be of service.
Thanks, Michael. Sean, you want to come on up and do your spiel?
All right, you guys, your meeting sleeves will be up here. Please grab these after the meeting's over. All right, we had an old balance of $163.38. Oh yeah, by the way, my name is Sean and I'm an alcoholic addict. All right, and we took in $31.99 tonight, which leaves us with a new balance of $195.37. Thank you for letting me be of service.
All right, we need a couple of people to help us clean up. Hands, volunteers, awesome, thank you. We just need garbages and the carts. I'd like to thank our speakers. Thank you, David, for our 10. Thank you, Caesar, for an amazing 40. I'd like to also congratulate all the chip takers and the birthday people. 1 year's amazing, so well done. Kevin, glad that you're here still. And Matt, of course, I'm glad you're here to take your cake with us. It's a pleasure, always. All right, who is up? And it's Lester, right? Come on up.
I'm Lester and I'm an alcoholic.
Lester!
Just for today, my thoughts will be on my recovery, living and enjoying life without the use of drugs. Just for today, I will have faith in someone in NA who believes in me and wants to help me in my recovery. Just for today, I will have a program. I will try to follow it to the best of my ability. Just for today, through NA, I will try to get better perspective of my life. Just for today, I will be unafraid. My thoughts will be on my associations, people who are not using and who have found a new way of life. So long as I follow that way, I have nothing to fear.
All right, let's link up. Don't forget your court cards are here to the front.
I'll sit behind you.
Don't forget to pick up the wreckage of your presents before you go, please. I see a bunch. All right, you linked up over there? After a moment of silence for the alcoholic and addict who's still suffering, will Caesar please lead us out in the prayer of his choice?
I will be honored. My name is Caesar, and I'm a grateful recovering addict. Can we please have a moment of silence for the still sick and suffering addict inside and outside these walls, followed by the Serenity Prayer as we do it in Brooklyn for those who know it and care to join. God,
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Hey, happy birthday, bro.
Another Tuesday.
You coming to the main stack tomorrow?
Where at?
I don't take that, bro. Where at?
I don't know. Sure. I'm sure Darren probably took it, but go for it. Is that the echo?
Yep.
Is that the fancy word for the echo? All right.
Manny, vaya.
But hey, good guy, man. Thank you. Where's the minister?
Hey, everybody, say hey.